I am happy to be back with your daily dose of nostalgia. This one applies. Y'all remember that one Hey Arnold episode where Mr. Green, who was the butcher in their community, ran for city council member because there was a pothole in the front of his building that was the size of the asteroid that took out y'all's dinosaur cousins? Well, it all started because Grandpa's Packer fell into that hole, and despite falling into a 20-foot hole, somehow his tires and the car was totally fine. We need cars like that again. So Mr. Green and the 3 very pronounced pimples on his nose were like, you know what? I'm gonna have to call that city councilman because every time we call him about anything, he uses these big words and then he says he's gonna fix it and he never does. Mind you, Grandpa warned him and was like, girl, every time I call down there to the city hall, somebody at lunch, no matter what time it is. Girl, they get down there at 4:30. This man is at lunch and his secretary is like, he'll be back in a second. So he comes back in that second, says some big worded lies, gets his tennis racket, and heads back out for a second lunch. The next day, Nickelodeon's Bob the Builder rejects show up with a board that wouldn't have been able to save Rose and Jack in an ocean. And it's like, hey, this all we got. He said it'll fix it pretty good for you. Child, Grandpa tips on hardwood floors right up to that hole and falls straight through that hardwood board. So now Mr. Green is blivid. He like, look, I'm only a butcher, but hell, if we can't go to Bella Noche's, where can we go? I guess I just gotta run for Congress member. And he does. So now the whole community is up. They like, yes, please represent for the normal people who just want to make sure they can get to work without falling through the damn center of the earth, including Lou Rawls. Yes, that's who voiced him, Lou Rawls. And who does he ask to be his campaign manager but Arnold? A 4th grade student is now his campaign manager. Those were choices, but okay. But Arnold's like, hey, whether it's sunny or gray, we gonna ball and parlay. I got your back. The Lion council member and his team of ill-fitted suits show up, and they like, we hear somebody running against us that's a butcher with a kid as his campaign manager. Now, most of us would have been like, yeah, that do sound crazy. But there's a leak in this old building. Because, honey, they go to that first debate, and this scammer and his 2022 styled brows are up there using big words that everybody is like, we think that he answering the question, but we can't really tell. It even affects Mr. Green for a second, and he tries to answer like that, and it becomes very clear that that's not even his style. You know you ain't making no damn sense when the cameraman turned around to the producer like, girl, what is he up there talking about? So Mr. Green says, you know what? I'm just gonna have to call it like I see it. And if you call me an uneducated street rat, it is what it is. He uses his area of expertise to relate to people. And he's like, look, I may only be a butcher, but I do know that you do not treat every part of the cow the same. Some parts need a little bit more help than others. Some parts you need to treat for a couple days. And this starts to win the crowd over because they like, you know what? We understand what you're talking about. This makes sense. Now we understand where our taxes are going. And 2022 Eyebrows starts to realize he losing his crowd a little bit. So he pulled Arnold over to the side and is like, hey, you need to make sure that Mr. Green loses. And then he hits him with, and if you make sure that he loses or that he pulls out, I promise I will fix your street tonight. And I'll make sure that y'all don't ever have anything to worry about. You can count on me. I'm a good old American. I said, girl, Craig, you ate that up. You ate that up, Craig. The next day is voting, and you see a lot of people pulling a hand for Mr. Green. But somehow, even after being at the debate and seeing how this man was straight up lying to them, using words they didn't understand, and just ignoring the questions overall, there were still people in Arnold's neighborhood who were voting for him. Girl, that election night comes around and Mr. Green receives a call and the room goes silent. Well, surprise, surprise. Turns out the people just wanted someone who actually understood their needs and tried. That's all they wanted. Mr. Green wins by a landslide and even as a butcher has the business acumen to get a team together and be able to help his community. And he was a good council member to them. And you know what's tea? Even 2022 Eyebrows team turned on him. Child, she closed them blinds on this man quicker than a bank on Christmas Eve. Do you hear me? So I guess the moral of the story is you win some, you lose some.